Hey everybody, it's Paul Ramsey, and I am joined today by Lisa Evans, who is presenting at the 2017 NGH convention. And Lisa is going to be talking about the Hypnotic-Aids Eye Opener. Explore adjunct tools and aids to enhance hypnosis. I like this topic already. Lisa, how are you?
Great. How are you today?
Good. Thanks for being here with me. So I want to make sure I represent everything. I'm going to go right off the description. It says, this seminar is a fun eye-opener into the many holistic and mindful aids that are proven to provide support and comfort for creating successful hypnosis sessions. Of all the topics that you could present on at the convention, why did you choose this one? Why is this topic important to you?
Well, I just did the CI training, and it was one of the topics that needed extra information, in my eyes, put into it. So I took the list of the historical ones that were listed in there. I don't want to say what was in there, but I took those and I started doing some research on it. And I said, I think I want to contribute and add and do something fun with this, because there's a lot of information in there, and there's a lot of information that I found, but there's a lot of information that I think could be listed and it's not in there in our manual.
Yeah.
So it was something that I didn't really, when I became a hypnotist, I didn't take the time to look at that information. And now it's like when you're a CI, then you're relearning it, and it's like, wow,
yeah.
I have all this other stuff I can play around with.
That's cool. Hey, tell me a little bit more about how, before you became a CI, how did you get certified? How did you get into hypnotism?
It's one of those things that I think was on my path for me to use. I read it in a bodybuilding magazine and used it in sports, believe it or not. It's a great topic. And then I used it when I was in massage therapy school for test anxiety, because I'm a terrible test taker. When you faint on your instructor, you need some help. So I was like, I think I need some help. So that helped me. And then I decided to learn it to do in a profession, because when I learned about it then and was using it personally for myself, I never even thought about it, using it as a profession. I didn't know that it was a profession, even though I was going to somebody for it. It wasn't part of my journey then, just for me personally. But I decided when my husband had passed away that I needed help again. And it was one of those mind-boggling things that the light bulb went off in my head, and I said, I need hypnosis. This is what's going to do it for me. And then I said, if I'm going to do it this time, I'm going to learn it. So I did.
Good for you. Listen, that's, it's one of my favorite things about doing these interviews is I never, ever interview someone who's like, oh yeah, I knew when I was 9 that I wanted to be a hypnotist. It never happens that way, right? There's always these incredibly diverse stories of how people find their own path. So that makes sense to me. That's great.
And now that I'm using it as a professional or in a corporation with my profession, it's like, how come you didn't do this then? It was almost like I lost out somewhere or something, but I didn't. It wasn't what I was supposed to do then. It was not my journey then. It was
everything in good time, right? Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Hey, tell me a little bit more. I mean, again, how many conventions have you been to?
Let's see. This might be my 7th or 8th.
Okay, so right, you get the routine. You know what it's like. You know the community. You know the culture.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of choices every hour.
Choices.
You're looking through the guide and you're trying to, sometimes it gets a little overwhelming, right? I mean, there's so many choices. If people are going to come in and spend an hour with you, can you sort of give us a basic understanding of where's the value in knowing the actual content? I don't want you to give away all the content now. That's for then. But where's the value in knowing the content that you're going to share with people in this 1 hour seminar?
Let's see. I think the value is, it's something that you're taking and putting to use. Like everything else, we always look at hypnosis as a script.
Right.
This is not a script. This class is not a script. This class is about utilizing different tools that you might not have spent time with, and hearing and touching and feeling the tools, and taking those and learning something new about them.
Yeah.
And the value, I think, would be for hypnotists that just became a hypnotist, because I don't know about others, but like I said earlier, it was something that I didn't spend a lot of time on because I was so focused on, I need that script, you know. So I think these tools that I'm going to go over, the history and then the new ones that I've incorporated, is something that can be used not only for themselves, not only for their customers, but for themselves. I think that's an important piece, is we don't always give ourselves the time that's needed. And we have to help ourselves in order to help other people.
Yes.
So
excellent.
Some of those tools, there's quite a few of them that you can use that for your own self-care. And, you know, the people that just became a CI, that information is, you know, it's a blank piece of paper with some words in there, and I filled in the blanks. And so I want to incorporate that and contribute to others, so that other people can use it. So I think that's the value, is if you're going to take one piece of that value, is come in and get some self-care and learn how to utilize it for yourself.
No, that's great, Lisa. Yeah. That's great, because listen, that's an important distinction. When people go to the convention has a lot to offer people, right? There's a lot going on. And sometimes the appropriate value to get from going into a session is to get a new theoretical idea that you have to think about and incorporate into your understanding of hypnotism. And at other sessions, it should not be, it should be about acquiring a very real and concrete thing that you can do, that when you're done with that session, you go back home to your practice and you do things in a new and different way, but you actually do them, right? And both are valuable, and they have different places, but I think you've articulated that quite well, that this is going to be about giving people things they can do, right? Utilization, that they can actually utilize. I think that's great. That's wonderful. Tell me about a time somewhere in your journey from being a certified hypnotist to a certified instructor, and how you've come on to this topical area, sort of like a light bulb moment where you really came to see things and understand things in a different way.
I've had a lot of light bulb moments. I just posted one, my light bulb moment.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me. I love hearing this stuff. I love it.
Okay, well, it was, the one that I just posted was actually about taking the feeling of accomplishment and utilizing that and rolling it over into another project. Oh. So I always get real tense and stressed when I'm doing my taxes, and until I hear that they're done, it's just like, that's not off my plate yet, you know. So I visualized the number, because I mean, we're self-employed, we always pay in, and if you're lucky if you don't. But that only means that you made money, right?
Right.
So you know, you visualize it, and then I got the phone call, and I said, you know what, I feel so great that this is in my hand, that it was just like, oh, I'm so glad that's off my plate. And I took that feeling, that sense of accomplishment and that pride that I felt, and that joy, and I rolled it into my other project that I needed to do. And I couldn't stop. I actually, at Easter Sunday, I said to my family, I'm like, sorry, I got to go. I got to finish my project.
Wow.
It was just like, I got to do this. I'm so excited. I got to run and do it. So, yeah, that got me through the I think that's kind of a light bulb moment or experience, because we ask our clients to do that all the time. We're asking them to get in touch with themselves, make that mind-body connection, and some of them look like have two heads, but when you really put it to use, and then it's just like, gee, I tell my people all the time to do this, and I'm going to do it.
Right.
But when I was doing the research for this class, one of the light bulb moments and the things that I took was the light and sound machine. It's the brain entrainment stuff.
Yep.
I got my toolbox right here. See this? Can you see my toolbox? Look at my toolbox. I put together this toolbox for you.
Look at that. That's like old school. I like that.
It's my grandfather's toolbox.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Right? And I got some different things in here. And so this is my brain entrainment. It's the binaural beats. Have you heard of that before?
Yep.
Well, I have a new customer that he's a Bell Parsley's client, and he has some motor skill problems. So I actually, during this research, no lie, I said, you know what? I think this could really work for him. And so I've been using it with him.
That's
and
great.
Because I do massage stuff, so I was doing some physical work on him.
Yep.
And when I learned, when I found out that it wasn't tactile, he could feel, and he didn't have any numbness, we went through the scale, and this motor neuron stuff is pretty cool, and I'm really I really think that it's going to be that missing link that he needs to get better.
That's cool. That's great.
Yeah.
Hey, if people want to learn more about you and what you do, is there a place or a way that's good for them to do that?
Sure. I like using my Instagram. So I have what is it? Lisa's Mind Touch. Lisa's Mind Touch on Instagram. And my one of my newer websites is lisaevanshypnotist.com.
There you go.
And all my contact information, phone number, and contact stuff's on there.
Right.
So after we do this class, I know they have a limit of you can't put the stuff out there at a certain time frame, but I'm going to have some of this information where people can go and get some sort of a link. So
good.
Hopefully people will attend the class, right?
Yes.
And if they miss it or they want more information after that, then they certainly can contact me, and I'll have it available for them.
Cool.
Because this is not going away. I did all this research on all of these different things. It's a lot.
Get your mileage out of it, right?
I'm just hoping that it'll
absolutely.
fit into the time frame. I said, I might need 2 hours for this one.
That's great. That's good. Hey, that's awesome. So listen, you guys, this is that kind of stuff. You go to the convention for a lot of different things. And like I said earlier, sometimes you go to learn a new idea. Sometimes you learn a new skill, a new approach, a new protocol. And this is a great example of that diversity that's at the convention. So if you're looking for ways to add some tools to your toolbox, here's the lady that literally has a toolbox. And so go hang out with her for an hour and listen to her talk about the ways that she's put more tools in her toolbox, and I think she'll be able to help you do that with yours. So Lisa, thank you so much for making time for me. I'm really grateful.
Thank you, Paul, very much for doing this, and I hope you have an awesome day.
Thank you. I'll see you in August. Wave.
All right. Okay.
All right. Be well.
Take care.